So after you've bought your bike, or maybe you bought a used bike, you might start to hate the color and you might want to replace the color. Now, it's as simple as buying a new part with a different color, but sometimes that's a little bit expensive and it might be cheaper to just repaint your frame or repaint your bike. I remember back in the early days of me getting my bike, like me and my friends, we would spray paint everything. Like my first Walmart bike started out orange and then it was gold and then it was red. It just had layers of paint caked on there, and I think that's just a fun part of customizing your BMX bike, especially when you get your first bike and you just want to change stuff out. You don't necessarily have money to buy new parts. So in this video, I want to answer a question from the Discord and explain the correct way to do this, because trust me, I did it the wrong way and it looked terrible. You don't want to make the same mistake, so let me help you out. Basketball says, so I want to get the paint off my frame and repaint it. I don't know how to get the paint off and I want to repaint it properly so it won't get off easily or rust easily. Help. And Kirk, one of our mods in here, says paint stripper, alcohol cleaner, primer, paint, clear coat. Boom. It's that simple, but the process there is a little bit more complicated. Like, yeah, those are the 5 things you need to do. Let's break it down a little bit. So with paint stripper, you're gonna apply paint stripper to the paint, and what that does is that strips the paint off. There's a lot of different grades of paint stripper and there's a lot of different methods, so make sure you do a little bit more research before you just go crazy. Use ventilation. This stuff is strong. You don't want to smell it. Like, you gotta be careful with this stuff. You're working with chemicals, but you want to use paint stripper to get off most of the paint. After that, you're gonna use some kind of cleaner to clean up the metal, to clean it up so that you can apply primer. Okay, primer is what sticks to the metal that allows paint to stick to that. So primer is an important step that I definitely did not do when I was painting my bike. I didn't even do, look, I skipped steps 1, 2, and 3. I just went to step 4 where you just spray paint over top of something. If you do it this way, paint's just gonna chip off. It's not gonna last. It's not gonna look good. It's gonna be terrible. So if you take those first 3 steps, you use paint stripper, you clean it off, and then you apply primer, the paint that you apply to the frame afterwards is gonna look a lot better. It's gonna stick better. You're gonna have a clearer coat. Okay, after you apply that paint, you can do multiple layers, and that would be my second suggestion for you. Don't just do 1 layer and call it done. Do 1 layer, let it dry, come back, do a second layer, do a 3rd layer. Maybe you want to do a 4th layer. I don't know. But after you've got multiple layers of paint on, then you're gonna throw some clear coat over it. That's gonna protect paint. That's gonna keep it all there. It's gonna give it a nice glossy shine, and it's gonna look really good. You need to understand that this is not a quick process. You're not gonna be able to just walk outside one day after school, strip off all the paint, throw on your new paint, throw on your clear coat, and boom, you have a bike. Like, this stuff takes a long time to dry. It takes a long time to happen. You've got to do some elbow grease there while you're cleaning off the frame. Like, this is a week-long process at minimum. And some tips for success, I would definitely recommend taking apart the bike. If you want to paint your frame, hope you don't get anything on your stem and on your forks. Like, you can tell when people do a bad spray paint job on their bike because their frame is one color and then parts of their forks are that same color, and it's a mess. So take your bike apart. You want to hang your frame up by something so it's nice in the air. You're not going to paint the ground when you paint your frame. That's a bad idea. Like, there are a lot of different steps you need to do, but taking the bike apart so that you can focus on the specific parts that you want to paint is a huge key. The second thing is, like I said, give yourself lots of time. This isn't something that's going to happen quickly. It's going to take time, so be patient and be prepared that this is not a day-long job. If you take the time, if you follow these steps, if you do it right, you can have a very nice looking frame for a lot cheaper than buying a new frame. So this is a really good option if you have the patience, if you have the skills. In the Discord, in the bike pictures channel, people have posted pictures of their own paint jobs and they do a really good job. Like, I am thoroughly impressed with some of the pictures I see in there. And after you paint your bike, I want you to join the Discord and post a picture of it in there. I'd love to see it. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Hope this was helpful.